Now, I know you've been seeing it online, and I know you've seen it in the picture of this video, and I know you know which car I'm gonna talk about because I even got the shirt on today. And guess what, guys? I'm Miguel, your car guy, and this is the 2020 G70. Let's talk about it. What is up, guys? It is Miguel, your car guy, and today we are talking about the G70. This happens to be the prestige package because everybody does the Sport. The Sport is a nice car, but just like the dealership here, I like to give options too. So we are going to go ahead and dive in the G70 Twin Turbo Prestige. Now, just a bit of background on the G70 before I dive into this one, but the G70 came out in 2019, and the first year it came out, it won North American Car of the Year and Motor Trend Car of the Year, 2 different awards, because this thing is groundbreaking. Not for the features that it has, but for all you get for the price point. This thing is packed with stuff. And also adding to the pedigree of the G70, not that Genesis has competed or won the 24 Hours Le Mans or anything like that, but guess what? Someone has. Mr. Albert Bierman used to head the BMW's M division, the M2, M3, M4. Guess what? He knows all about it. And he also took the reins for research and development for Hyundai Motor Group. And guess what? The G70 is his baby. Now, a lot of people love the styling of this car. A lot of auto journalists are calling it very handsome, from the front to the back to the inside. The G70 definitely has a presence when it pulls up at your next family reunion or your school reunion, because this thing does have some class to it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is show you the Prestige package and not the Sport. The reason for that is because you have a little bit more customability in this car than you do in the Sport. I'm about to show you why. First difference I want to talk about are the wheels. You can still have 19s on the Premium, but they're not the black wheels. So if you are a fan of the actual metal finish and not the black, you should get the Prestige. And another difference is the handles here are actually chrome and not the dark chrome, which on a darker colored car like this really helps it pop, and you have a nice little contrast showing off this car, because let's face it, if you buy this car, you're probably trying to show off just a little bit, and this thing allows you to do it. And now some tech specs. Now this is only with the V6s. The 4 cylinders are very different, but with any V6, Prestige or not, you are going to get the V6, obviously. 3.3 liter V6, 365 horsepower, 376 pound-feet of torque. So it does have a lot of flash, and it also does have a lot of dash. Now, something to rein in that power, guess what? Every V6 has Brembos. Yes, Brembo. So that is amazing. If it's the V6, you also have a limited slip differential, so that way it can carve up them corners just like that turkey or the ham you're about to cut, because it's almost Christmas, might as well mention something Christmassy. And beyond that, you do have very good sound system. You have 15 speakers, lexicon, and there's even a program called Quantum Logic that's integrated into this. It doesn't matter if you're listening to polka, country music, whatever you listen to, this thing is gonna make it sound very, very good. And beyond that, it's practical. You can fit 4 people in it. Guess what? 7 airbags, and yes, it is the most rigid car in its class, because the guy from BMW, Mr. Albert Bierman, actually wanted this to be super, super solid around corners. That way, you can go ahead and have the confidence to enter that apex, hit the gas, and keep it zipping down the track. Yeah, that is super cool. Did I say track? I did say track, and I actually want to show you what I mean, because you do have some track features that might be useful. Because if you go to the actual settings menu, the first icon after the setting menu is going to be a little checkered flag, which the first menu is going to be gauges. Gauges shows you oil temperature, torque, and when you give it some gas, a little bit of that turbo boost. So that is cool. Below that, you also do have a lap timer in case you want to time your laps. And below that, you also do have another cool little feature, G-force meter. That way, if you actually are on the track, you can see how many G's your car is pulling. So that is pretty cool. And yeah, all that stuff is on it as long as you have a V6. Now, what distinguishes this car? Well, in order to get the Prestige, you need to get the Elite. What does the Elite bring? Well, if you have the V6, you get a few cool little upgrades. You do have the sunroof on this, which is an upgrade. You have the wireless charging, which is an upgrade. You also do have the front and rear parking sensors. You know, the little things that beep when you get a little too close to something? Those also come in that. Above and beyond that, now you get into the Prestige. The Prestige makes it a little bit nicer. Now, the easiest way to tell from the outside whether it's a Prestige, if you could see the wheel and you know it's not the black Sport wheels, but You see this little tray in here. It's not really a tray, it's a screen. But guess what? That's the heads-up display that you get with this. Another difference with the Prestige is that when you're actually in gear, you have a 360-degree camera view of the car. That way, when you're driving through a parking lot, you can actually see where you're going with the bird's eye view. And now that we're in the inside, I figured I'd show you another difference. Not only do you get the color choice inside, but you also get the Nappa quilted leather. Yes, this is the first level that brings the Nappa quilted leather, but don't just look down. You gotta look up too, because you also get the suede headliner in the Prestige, and that is super nice. And another difference with the Prestige package is that unlike the Elite, the Prestige package is the first one to bring heated seats in the back. They're actually right here. That way, if you want to go ahead and get a little warmth on your back, you got it right there. Now, if your only decision factor between the Prestige package and the Sport package is going to be on price, you might as well get the Sport. I tell you that because the difference between the Prestige, which is this one, and the Sport is going to be only about $1,200. Is nothing too crazy. And like I said, the Prestige actually gives you almost everything the Sport has. Whereas the Sport only has black leather, this one you could tailor the inside color to what you like. And I think the only major hardware difference is the adaptive suspension that the Sport has, where this one actually doesn't. But like I said, it's only like $1,200 difference. It's not that big, guys. But guys, I did not talk about every single thing on the car. I didn't tell you about the hill start assist. I didn't tell you about the adaptive cruise control. I didn't tell you about a lot of stuff because I want you to come and see me, Miguel, at Universal Hyundai and Universal Genesis here in Orlando. I'm Miguel, your car guy. If you liked the video, go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, leave a few comments. Tell me what you want to see next, and I will see you soon. And yeah, all that's a bit more than what the and one of the easiest ways to tell that if you're dealing with a Prestige or not is to look where the driver's okay.